the CEO who hated love. Until me. Ava walked into Blackwell Industries, her heart racing. Today was her first day as the assistant to Damien Blackwell, the young, handsome CEO known for his icy demeanor and cutthroat business skills. As she stepped into his sleek office, she tripped over her heel and spilled coffee across his pristine white shirt. Damien's stormy grey eyes locked onto hers, his jaw tightening. "Do you always make a disaster of yourself on the first day?" he demanded. Voice low but controlled. Ava's cheeks burned, but she lifted her chin. "I adapt quickly," she replied, refusing to show fear. For a moment, Damien said nothing, simply appraising her. There was something different about her boldness, courage, a spark he hadn't seen in years. "Fine. You start today, but one more mistake, and you're gone," he warned, his tone leaving no room for negotiation. By day 2, Ava noticed the contradictions. Damien's posture was sharp, his expression cold, but his hands were always immaculate, and he lingered over paperwork far longer than necessary. When she accidentally knocked over a stack of folders, he caught her hand. "Careful," he murmured, his voice unexpectedly gentle. Ava's pulse raced. She had seen cracks in his armor, tiny vulnerabilities no one else noticed. Damien's attention made her nervous yet intrigued, stirring feelings she didn't expect. Later, as she left the office, she texted a friend. "He's impossible, but I can't stop thinking about him." Unbeknownst to her, Damien was already replaying the interaction, wondering how this young, fearless woman had managed to get under his skin. Whispers floated through the office like wildfire. Everyone noticed the tension between Damien and Ava. Colleagues speculated about a hidden attraction, but Damien ignored them. Outwardly, inside his mind churned. Boldness in a woman wasn't something he welcomed, but Ava intrigued him. Ava, too, noticed the office chatter. "Does it matter what they think?" she asked Damien in passing, her eyes daring him to respond. His lips pressed into a thin line, and he didn't answer, but a flicker of a smile betrayed him. That evening, Ava stared at her reflection. She was beginning to feel drawn to a man she was supposed to fear. Meanwhile, Damien's mind was consumed by thoughts of her, breaking the rules he had set for himself years ago. A sudden storm forced Ava to stay late. Damien appeared at her desk with his coat, his youthful charm cutting through the office tension. "You'll catch a cold," he said, placing it over her shoulders. Their fingers brushed, sending an unexpected jolt of electricity. They worked in silence, the rain tapping against the tall glass windows. Ava dared a small joke, and to her surprise, Damien laughed, a sound rare and captivating, unlike the cold, calculated image everyone knew. As she left the office that night, Damien murmured, "Get home safely." Ava walked away, heart racing, aware that something dangerous yet thrilling was beginning to form between them. Damien assigned Ava a critical project far beyond her experience. When she voiced her doubts, he leaned closer. "I don't tolerate excuses," he said sharply. Ava's defiance flared. "I don't need a protector, I need a challenge," she shot back. Damien's sharp features softened slightly. No one had ever challenged him so openly, yet he couldn't suppress the rising admiration. Ava left the office determined, yet secretly thrilled. She had faced the untouchable CEO head-on, and he hadn't crushed her. In fact, something in his icy eyes hinted he wanted her to succeed, or at least, he wanted to see her try. Late one night, Ava accidentally overheard Damien arguing on the phone. His voice, normally commanding, cracked in frustration and pain. The cold CEO facade she had feared was just a mask for past wounds no one knew. Ava whispered to herself, curiosity igniting. "Why hide behind that mask?" she asked. Unaware Damien had turned, eyes sharp but vulnerable. He cleared his throat. "Forget what you heard," he ordered. But Ava knew she had glimpsed the man beneath the billionaire. Exterior a man who, could hurt as easily as he could love. Damien embarrassed Ava in a meeting, dismissing her ideas in front of the board. Her cheeks burned, but she stood firm, defending her strategy with poise. His grey eyes softened ever so slightly, revealing admiration he would never voice aloud. Later, in private, he scolded her. "You're reckless," he said. Ava stared back defiantly. Sometimes reckless is the only way to survive. Damien spent the night staring at the empty office, haunted by thoughts of her courage. For the first time in years, he realized someone had penetrated his emotional defenses. A major client deal forced Damien and Ava to work closely together. Hours trapped in a small, tense office created sparks neither could ignore. "I don't need your help," Damien said sharply, though his eyes betrayed tension. "We're in this together whether you like it or not," Ava countered, unwavering. By the end of the meeting, their synergy was undeniable. Trust was forming in places neither expected, and the tension became more than just professional, it was personal. Late nights at the office had become routine. One evening, Ava tripped, and Damien caught her in his arms. Their eyes locked, the air thick with anticipation. Ava's heart raced. Damien's mask faltered. Neither spoke, yet the moment was electric. Their attraction was undeniable. A sudden call from the board shattered the moment, leaving both unsettled, aware that their connection was dangerously growing. Rumors of their closeness spread. Colleagues whispered about the young CEO softening for his assistant. Damien noticed Ava's subtle reactions and felt an unfamiliar sting of jealousy. "I don't care what they think," Ava said, eyes daring him to react. Damien remained silent, but the flicker of tension between them was unmistakable. Inside, he knew his control over. Emotions was slipping and he wasn't entirely unhappy about it. Ava and Damien were trapped in the office by another storm. Lightning illuminated the city through floor-to-ceiling windows. "I shouldn't want this," Damien whispered, his voice low and rough. Ava's hand brushed his. "Then don't fight it," she murmured, heart pounding. Their lips hovered inches apart, the moment electric. A phone buzzed, shattering the fragile intimacy. But both knew something had shifted permanently. Ava discovered a photograph of Damien with an ex. Revelation of past heartbreak explained much of his cold demeanor. "Why are you still here?" Damien asked, his voice soft. Ava answered truthfully, "Because I see the real you." For the first time, Damien didn't respond with words. His silence held acknowledgement, and Ava realized she had touched the side of him no one else had. A new executive arrived, testing boundaries. Damien's subtle reactions to Ava's jealousy were impossible to hide. Their emotions became a dangerous game, each testing limits. "You think I care?" Damien asked, though neither truly believed it. Ava's pulse quickened, realizing the game had become real. The office became a stage where attraction, tension, and rivalry collided. Ava accidentally shared a secret, and Damien listened quietly, unexpectedly supportive. "I didn't know you carried so much," he said softly. A fragile bond formed, their walls lowering slightly. Each vulnerability drew them closer, hearts slowly surrendering to forbidden feelings. During a late-night project, their hands touched, and their lips hovered near. Sparks flew, igniting desire that neither wanted to suppress. The moment was interrupted by a call. Both sighed, knowing the next encounter would be explosive. Ava proposed a daring strategy. Damien doubted her, but she held her ground. "You're reckless," he warned. "Sometimes reckless wins," she countered. His admiration for her courage grew, and he realized she was unlike anyone he had ever met. A threat to the company brought Damien closer to Ava than ever. "Stay behind me," he instructed, protective and intense. Ava's heart raced, realizing the CEO could be both dangerous and tender. Their connection deepened, defying professional boundaries. Damien battled vulnerability. Ava feared getting hurt. One quiet night, His hand lingered on hers. "Why can't I stop thinking about you?" he confessed. Ava realized their feelings were mutual, a dangerous attraction neither could resist. An old acquaintance threatened to expose secrets, testing trust. Ava's faith wavered, and Damien struggled to explain. "This isn't what it looks like," he said, desperation in his voice. Ava's heart twisted, but her love remained. A heated argument led to tears and confessions. Damien admitted his fear of emotional vulnerability. Ava admitted her fear of heartbreak. They saw each other fully, CEO and assistant, young and bold, hearts laid bare. Damien showed Ava his home and personal memories. She saw his humanity family photos, art, and passions hidden behind the CEO facade. Their bond strengthened. Love was no longer forbidden. Damien officially asked Ava out. Dinner, laughter, and flirtation confirmed their feelings. She realized she had melted his walls. He realized she was his heart's match. Office gossip and competitors challenged their relationship. They faced adversity together, proving love required courage. United, they realized their bond could withstand anything. Damien planned a grand proposal, but an unexpected crisis almost separated them. Ava's trust and love were tested, but they held strong. On a skyscraper rooftop at night, Damien proposed, finally confessing. He hated love until her Ava accepted, and their story became a symbol of unstoppable love. Ava couldn't stop smiling as she walked into Blackwell Industries the next morning, wearing the engagement ring that shimmered like a promise of forever. Damien met her at the elevator, handsome as ever in a crisp suit, his usual stoic mask softened by affection. "Good morning, fiancé," he said, voice low and teasing. Ava rolled her eyes playfully. "You mean young billionaire CEO who's now officially mine?" she teased back. Damien chuckled, the sound rare, magnetic, and completely hers. The office buzzed with whispers, but Ava didn't care. All that mattered was the man standing beside her, his piercing grey eyes holding a warmth she had never seen before. Chapter 2. Jealousy strikes again. During a board meeting, a new young executive complimented Damien's leadership. Ava's hand subtly brushed his, sending a spark through both of them. Damien noticed and smirked. "Trying to make me jealous?" he murmured quietly, leaning toward her. Ava grinned. "Maybe just making sure you notice me." Their shared smirk said it all. Love now had a playful edge. The tension in the room shifted. Everyone else was oblivious to the sparks flying between the engaged couple, but Damien and Ava couldn't ignore the electricity that had only grown stronger since the proposal. Chapter 3. The first private weekend. Damien surprised Ava with a weekend getaway to a seaside villa. Walking on the balcony at sunset, they shared stories and laughter, their hands intertwined like they had never been apart. "I can't believe this is real," Ava whispered, leaning her head on his shoulder. Damien kissed her temple. "Everything about us is real, and I won't let a day go by without reminding you of it." As the sun dipped below the horizon, Damien and Ava realized that even after the proposal, their story was just beginning. Every glance, every touch, every shared smile promised more passion, drama, and love to come. If you loved this story, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. Don't miss our next dramatic billionaire romance.